Hey, what's going on gamers? As you may know, there have been a few new items revealed in both the in-game trading window and through data mining after the most recent hotfix. This video is going to show off some renderings of the items as well as the current data we have on them regarding attributes and requirements. And trust me, there's a ton of stuff. However, before we get into that, I do want to showcase some new monster models, which you may have already seen in Grass's video posted earlier in the week. We have the Frost Wolf, which is essentially an ice-themed variant of our current Dire Wolf, and we also have the Frost Skeleton Footman and Frost Skeleton Archer. I'm assuming that we'll get the other skeleton variants too, since the texture can seamlessly be applied to the other models, which looks like this. Now, if you're a gear nerd like me, just sit back for this next section and enjoy the art. Crusader Helm. Class requirement, Fighter or Cleric. Expected attribute, Knowledge. Dark Grove Hood. Class requirement, Druid. Expected attribute, Magical Healing. Elkwood Crown. Class requirement, also Druid. Expected attribute, Vigor. Great Helm. Class requirement, Fighter or Cleric. Expected attribute, Knowledge. Norman Nasal Helm. Class requirement, Barbarian. Expected attribute, Vigor. Open Salad. Class requirement, Fighter or Cleric. Expected attribute, Knowledge. Salad. Class requirement, Fighter or Cleric. Expected attribute, also Knowledge. Spagan Helm. Class requirement, again, Fighter or Cleric, with the expected attribute of also Knowledge. Toff Helm. Class requirement, Fighter or Cleric, expected attribute, Knowledge. Visored Salad. Class requirement, Barbarian, expected attribute, Vigor. Dark Curse. Unknown current class requirement with no current expected attribute. Grand Brigandine. Unknown class requirement, no current expected attribute. Heavy Gambison. Also unknown class requirement with no expected attribute. Light Akaton. Unknown class requirement, Strength as the expected attribute. Poupont. Unknown class requirement, expected attribute, Strength. Studded Leather. Class requirement, Barbarian. Expected attributes, Strength. Dark Leaf Boots. Currently unknown class requirement, though likely Druid or Ranger. Expected attribute, Dexterity. Low Boots. Unknown class requirement. Expected attribute, Dexterity. Stitched Turn Shoe. Unknown class requirement. Expected attribute, Resourcefulness. Elkwood Gloves. Class requirement, Druid or Ranger. Expected attribute, Dexterity and Will split. Light Gauntlets. Class requirement, Fighter or Cleric. No current expected attributes. Mystic Gloves. Cleric, Wizard or Warlock class requirement with expected attributes of Dexterity and Will split. Some other models that are found in the data but I was not able to completely render include the Champion and Crusader armors, which look to be built off the current Templar armor, as well as two Druid-specific chest pieces known as the Ritual Robe and Dark Grove Robe. Now, I know what you're thinking, why is there so much gear with seemingly the same stats? Well, this could be the early stages of a zero random modifier system that SDF brought up in October. So we could see more attributes or modifiers applied to each of these pieces of gear. Or this could also be the early signs of a gem socketing system mentioned in the same Q&A. So some of this gear may have gem sockets. I'm not sure. However, it's more likely that they just want more gear diversity in general for both aesthetic and build reasons, as there are other major development targets that the team has had planned for quite some time, which now of course we have already seen some implemented with a few more expected shortly. I know I'm referencing some specific messages that were dated back in Q4 of 2023, but that doesn't mean that they have been focusing on only these things. I mean, look at their update calendar. Ever since the game was released into early access, Dark and Darker has had some sort of update just about every single week, with the major patch 2 update taking place towards the end of November. Additionally, of the 4 weeks that there was no critical update or hotfix, Iron Mace either had a performance update or pushed some sort of server maintenance. This is actually a pretty insane schedule, and I honestly can't think of another dev team that has communicated this much information to their player base in the past. Now, you're probably wondering about the Ice Map, Druid, and Flea Market that have been brought up a number of times in the other videos, and though I haven't found anything in the game files quite yet, I do think they're planning for a major release before the end of the month as originally stated by SDF. So either this upcoming week or the next. If there's any information that changes this, it will probably be first announced in the Dark and Darker Discord. And I of course will parrot this information to here if for some reason you missed the message. Alright gamers, thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.